I cover the White House for the McClatchy newspaper chain, which is 32 papers across the country, and then we have a wire service of several hundred papers. So basically, I just follow the president around and write about what he does. Well, the great thing about my job is it's always different. I'm never quite sure what I'm going to do that day. A lot of it is determined by what the president is doing, but we try not to just react to what he's doing. So we try to anticipate events, and it really varies. Sometimes, say, when he was in day 100 of the 60-day Social Security tour and it was clear the bill was dead, I started skipping those trips because there was not much point. It was the same speech every day. So there's some routine in it, but on the other hand, it's an amazing job, and I'm lucky to have it because the scope of the beat is incredible. There are about 13 press seats on Air Force One, and those are on a rotated basis. There's one designated for newspapers, one for TV folks, the wires, photographers, that kind of thing. And I'm in with the newspapers. We just rotate them by alphabetical order, by organization. Then everybody who's not on Air Force One gets together and charters a plane to travel, along with the president. It's exciting, and it's a symbol of the United States, and wherever you go, people react. But in terms of traveling, it's not as nice for us as it is for the president, and it's not as nice for us as it is to be on the press charter. It's first-class seats, very nice, very comfortable, but there's one major problem. It's the Air Force. So the level of service, let's put it this way, on the charter, it's our plane. So you can do whatever you want. If you want to go up and get a bottle of wine and bring it back and talk to your friends, you can do that. And we get some funny charters. We have like the plane that the Rolling Stones used for the Voodoo Lounge tour, and then more recently Madonna used it. And so it's like flying around with a bunch of your friends on your own plane. Whereas Air Force One, you have to be, you have to show the respect for where you are. And I know one time I didn't expect to be on Air Force One, didn't think it'd be my turn, and I had jeans on. And as we go in the back, the president goes in the front, and he's walking up the stairs in the front and looks at me in the jeans and kind of gave one of these, what are you doing with jeans on? I didn't really think about it in college, although in high school my buddies and I would talk about jobs. What would you like to do when you grow up? And everybody, something different, something where you have not just the routine every day. And then when I got to college at the University of Texas, they had a good radio, television, film department, and I got involved in that, and then I thought I'd make documentaries, and then documentaries sort of led to straight journalism, and went from there. What I remember more than the teachers is the books. And I always say that I got a great education almost in spite of myself. I was not the most diligent student. But Parkway was so good because they put all these opportunities out there. And you could take them or not, which is the way education is. I mean, you can't make somebody learn. But if you give them the opportunity to learn, then they can. And some people in high school took full advantage of it. Others didn't. I was in that latter category. But some books really stuck with me, like Catcher in the Rye, A Separate Peace, all those coming-of-age kind of books, which now I'm going back and reading again that I have teenage children. But, so I think I got that out of it, that they gave me those opportunities. And looking back, of course, I wish I had been more diligent on some of the other things. Well, the best thing about the high school experience to me was the friends that I made then. And they're the friends that I have now, and had dinner with some of them just last night. And one of the great things about my job is, because I travel a lot, I end up in a lot of cities where I have old friends from high school. I'll call them up and I say, let's go to dinner, and they're always there, which I appreciate. And it's, I just hope my own kids, I've got 4 teenagers, 4 teenage girls, and I just hope they can be as lucky as I've been with the friends that they make. And one thing about journalism, though, because I think in these partisan times especially, I think it's a high calling in a way, frankly, even though we could take a lot of grief right now, but it's especially in this partisan, polarized environment that we have, to have somebody who's at least trying to be in the middle of the road, even though we don't always get it right. So that's one reason I enjoy my job. But I get angry emails all the time. I say, after doing this as long as I have no firm opinions about anything. Or put it another way, I can always see the other side of an argument. So in that sense, and I come into it that, which is another thing we're losing in this environment, but I come into it that nobody or very few people in politics are actually evil. That most people want to do the right thing. They have different ideas on how to get there. So if you start from that perspective, it's easier to kind of say, well, let's look at this idea sort of dispassionately. Because even sometimes for somebody who's had 9 terrible ideas might have a good one.